Life is a continuous journey, one in which we are constantly evolving, learning, and growing. Yet despite our natural inclination toward change, many of us find ourselves shackled by the weight of our past. Whether it's regrets, mistakes, or the emotional scars left by others, we carry these burdens like a heavy load, unable to let go. But in truth, the key to living a fulfilling and meaningful life lies in our ability to release the past and fully embrace the present. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to become consumed by what has already happened. We often dwell on past mistakes, missed opportunities, or the actions of others that caused us pain. These memories and emotions create an invisible anchor, holding us back from moving forward and fully experiencing the present moment. However, letting go of the past doesn't mean forgetting or erasing it. Rather, it means releasing our emotional attachment to it. By doing so, we allow ourselves to live in the present, where we can make new choices and embrace new possibilities. Letting go is not an easy task. It requires a shift in mindset and a willingness to confront the emotional baggage we've been carrying. But once we make the conscious decision to release the past, we open ourselves up to a world of new opportunities and personal growth. This essay will explore the importance of letting go, how changing our thoughts can transform our lives, and how we can free ourselves from the shackles of our past to live a life of authenticity and purpose. Our personal history is something we all carry with us. It is made up of the experiences, relationships, and events that have shaped who we are today. Some of these experiences may be positive, while others may be filled with pain, regret, or disappointment. Over time, we begin to see ourselves through the lens of our past, defining our identity based on what has happened to us. Carlos Castaneda, a well-known philosopher and thinker, once had a profound realization that changed his life. He no longer needed his personal history. For many of us, this idea may seem counterintuitive. How can we simply let go of the very experiences that have shaped who we are? But Castaneda's insight was not about erasing or forgetting the past. It was about releasing the emotional attachment we have to it. When we hold on to our personal history too tightly, we become trapped by it. We replay old wounds and mistakes in our minds, allowing them to define our present reality. This emotional attachment keeps us stuck in a cycle of pain and prevents us from moving forward. Castaneda likened this to giving up a vice, such as drinking. Just as one might quit an unhealthy habit, we can choose to let go of the need to carry our personal history with us wherever we go. Imagine your personal history as a heavy bag that you carry on your back. This bag is filled with all the events, people, and circumstances that have shaped your life, both good and bad. Over time, this bag becomes heavier and more burdensome. Yet instead of putting it down, we continue to hold on to it, dragging it with us wherever we go. Every once in a while, we may try to set the bag down, but then we reach back in and pull out old memories, replaying them in our minds as if they still hold power over us. We relive the pain and suffering of the past, and we wonder why our lives feel stagnant or unfulfilling. The truth is, by holding on to our past in this way, we are preventing ourselves from fully experiencing the present. When we cling to our past, we allow it to define who we are and how we see the world. We view ourselves through the lens of old wounds and regrets, and this colors our perception of reality. But when we choose to let go of this emotional baggage, we free ourselves from its weight. We can embrace the present moment with a fresh perspective, seeing ourselves not as the sum of our past mistakes, but as individuals with the capacity for growth and change. Several years ago, I met a woman from Holland who had experienced a devastating loss. After 25 years of marriage, her husband left her, and she was left to raise their 4 children on her own. The pain of this loss was overwhelming, and she fell into a deep depression. She stopped eating, lost weight, and was on the verge of suicide. The emotional weight of losing her husband consumed her, and she couldn't see a way out. Desperate for relief, she came to one of my book signings in Florida. She approached me with tears in her eyes and said, "You have to help me. I can't go on like this. I need you to tell me something that will help me get through this." I told her the same thing I tell many people who are struggling with their past. Give up your personal history. Merge yourself into the present moment. Those 25 years of marriage, while significant, were not the end of her story. They were simply a chapter in her life, and she had the power to move forward and write a new one. To help her understand this concept, I used an analogy. I told her to think of her past as a hat. This hat represents everything that has happened to her. All the good times, all the bad times, all the memories. You can't just put the hat down and walk away from it. It will always be there. But you don't have to wear it all the time either. You can take it off, set it aside, and embrace the present moment. By releasing the emotional attachment to her past, she could begin to heal and move forward. She could acknowledge the pain of her loss without allowing it to define her future. This is the essence of letting go, acknowledging the past for what it is and choosing to live in the present, where new possibilities await. One of the most powerful metaphors for understanding the role of the past in our lives comes from Alan Watts, who spoke about the wake of a boat. When a boat moves through the water, it leaves a wake behind it, a trail that shows where the boat has been. But the wake doesn't drive the boat, it is simply a result of the boat's movement. Similarly, the past is like the wake of your life. It shows where you've been, but it doesn't determine where you're going. The wake is simply a trail left behind, and it has no power to drive the boat forward. Believing that your past is responsible for your current struggles is an illusion. It's not the past that controls your life, it's your attachment to the past that holds you back. By letting go of your attachment to the past, you free yourself to live fully in the present. You can acknowledge the wake of your life, the experiences that have shaped you, without allowing it to dictate your future. This is the key to personal freedom, releasing the past and embracing the now. Albert Einstein famously said, "You cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it." This principle is crucial for understanding how to overcome the challenges in our lives. The problems we face are often a result of our own thoughts and beliefs. If we want to solve these problems, we need to change the way we think. Our thoughts shape our reality. Every problem we face is experienced in the mind, and it is in the mind that these problems are created. If we continue to think in the same way, we will continue to experience the same problems. But when we change our thoughts, we change our reality. Changing your mind requires a shift in perspective. It means acknowledging that the way you've been thinking may not be serving you. This is not about blaming yourself or feeling guilty. It's about recognizing that your current mindset is not aligned with the life you want to live. When you change your thoughts, you open the door to new possibilities. You begin to see the world differently, and this shift in perception allows you to create a new reality for yourself. The problems that once seemed insurmountable become opportunities for growth and learning. One of the most difficult things to do is to admit that you were wrong. This is because admitting that you were wrong feels like admitting failure. But in reality, admitting that you were wrong is simply an acknowledgement that you are ready to grow and change. When we make decisions based on old beliefs and thought patterns, we may not realize that those beliefs are no longer serving us. It's only when we reflect on our choices and recognize that they are not aligned with our true desires that we can make different choices moving forward. Admitting that you were wrong is not about beating yourself up or feeling guilty. It's about acknowledging that the way you've been thinking has not been working for you, and that you are ready to make a change. This is a sign of growth, not failure. In relationships, it's easy to focus on what's wrong. The things your partner does that annoy you, the ways they fall short of your expectations. But if you want to create a successful relationship, you need to shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, focus on what you love about the other person. As Robert Frost once said, we love the things we love for what they are. It's not about loving someone for what they could be or for what you wish they were. It's about loving them for who they are in this moment. When you focus on what you love about the other person, you create space for the relationship to grow and flourish. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on the positive aspects of the relationship and appreciating the good things, even when challenges arise. Your relationship is a reflection of your thoughts. If you believe that the relationship isn't working, ask yourself, what am I focusing on? What am I thinking about this person? If you can change your thoughts and focus on what you love about the other person, the relationship will naturally improve. There is immense power in the way we treat ourselves. It is often said that the way we perceive our abilities and potential shapes the trajectory of our lives. In moments of doubt, we tend to downplay our capabilities, focusing on our flaws and shortcomings. But imagine what could happen if, instead, you treated yourself as if you had already achieved the greatness you desire. Consider this. Every time you act as though you are already the person you want to become, you are one step closer to making that vision a reality. Treating yourself as if you've already achieved your goals sets the foundation for success. This concept may sound abstract, but it has practical applications that can transform your life. In our pursuit of growth and self-discovery, one of the most profound lessons we can learn is that we are not defined by our past. Our personal history, while it has shaped us, does not have to control us. The process of letting go is not about forgetting where we've been or ignoring the lessons we've learned. Instead, it's about releasing the emotional attachment to our past and stepping into the present moment with a sense of empowerment and purpose. Through my own experiences, I have learned that holding on to the past only serves to weigh us down. It limits our ability to see the possibilities that exist in the present and prevents us from moving forward with clarity and intention. By letting go of the past, we create space for new opportunities, new growth, and new relationships. It is in the present moment that we have the power to shape our lives and become the person we truly want to be. In every challenge, there is an opportunity for growth. By changing our thoughts, we change our reality. By admitting when we are wrong, we open the door to new perspectives and possibilities. And by focusing on what we love, we strengthen our relationships and create a life filled with purpose and joy. Ultimately, letting go of the past is an act of self-love. It is a decision to live fully in the present, free from the emotional baggage that has held us back. When we release the past, we open ourselves to a future filled with limitless potential. The key is to remember that we have the power to choose our thoughts, our actions, and our path forward. The journey to self-fulfillment begins with the decision to let go.